it is. So for job factors, you're going to be asked things like, do you like working in the outdoors? Do you like working indoors? Do you have issues with your hands? Do you have issues with your feet? That doesn't mean I just can't catch a ball. It means if you've actually got some sort of disability. So those that are colourblind, all right, is it a big thing or can you work around it? If you are colourblind, there are some jobs that you can't do. So you need to think about that as well when you're answering these questions. Okay, but what it is it's asking, I strongly dislike working indoors. This particular person has said, I like working indoors, but I actually really like working outdoors. So they don't mind either, but they prefer to work outdoors. They like to work in one place. They like to have a common ground. So working at a school, that's one place. However, working as a plumber, you would be off at different job sites all the time. Police officers, they work indoors, they work outdoors, they work nights, they work days, they work shift work. So you need to think about all these types of things. If you've got a job in mind, have a think about what might affect those jobs. So what factors might affect these things. So you'll go through, again, you've got a number of questions to get through, and eventually it'll say, these are the jobs based on your interest guide, based on your interest profile, and based on your job factors. These are the jobs that you are most suited for. So this particular person has gone through, and according to their preferences in the past ones, they've matched at 89 as a rating as a colour consultant. And they can see over here, they look at their job description, it says for this particular job, it advises on colour schemes for clients intending on painting or decorating. So we're looking at maybe interior design. Now this person might say, I think that's a great job. So what they'll do is they'll scroll down. Okay, they'll scroll down and they'll click add to notepad. And it'll say that it's added up here. So you just say, yep, I'll click that one off. And it means it's there for future reference. Now, it turns out that this particular person really wanted to be a police officer. Okay, so we look in here and we say, look, I can't see police officer anywhere in here. I've jumped down. I've made it instead of top 20, I'm looking at the top 40 jobs and I'm still not seeing police officer anywhere. So what we're going to do is we'll type in, so if we scroll down to the bottom and we click on explore other jobs. And in here, instead of doing all jobs, you'll click find jobs and you'll type in police officer. Okay, so we type in police officer and we go search. And it says, if we look down here, we can scroll down and see that they actually match, they've only got a 56 rating and a 52 and a 51. So we've got Indigenous Community Liaison, so they're more interested in working with the Indigenous culture. So we'd have a look at that job and the same thing applies. So if we click on it, we'll click on the Federal Police Officer. And then it says in here, it says this is the reason why it doesn't match. So they've selected it, it doesn't match their chosen level. That's where I go back to that level 5. If you choose that level 5, it opens up all your possibilities. Okay? But you can see down there, and she can scroll down. Be like, I actually want to know what the pros and cons are of this job based on what I've picked and my job factors. So I click on pros and cons. And I get a big list pop up here about the things that I liked, that suit me, the things I am okay with, and some of the things that I'm not keen on that made it interesting about. Okay, so she's not actually sure about dealing with blood, but this is why it's not an appropriate pick for her, and that's why she didn't get the 89, but the interior design she did. So obviously there's something within her, she hasn't maybe realised that interior design is more for her. So once she's done that, we'll go on, we'll click the next button, and it'll take us through to our action plan.